Now recording.
Welcome back, Craig. It's never,
Craig,
"Hey,
bud.
guys, how are you doing?" It's always the, "Now recording."
I
Down to
know.
business.
He
Jesus.
never checks in on us, but we don't check in on him either, so
Well, he doesn't check in on us, so why should we check in on him?
are you a little salty today?
Not really.
Fair enough.
It's just I'm noticing this shit, man.
Well, he's an AI.
Ugh.
He's not programmed to ask he's not programmed to check on us.
Fair.
Yeah. But anyway, hey, Phobos, sisters, brothers, and others, I'm Jinx.
And I'm clueless.
This is Sisters of the Macabre. Half high.
Oh, fuck up. Telling them that. They don't need to know.
Why not?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no judgment. I'm honestly trying to I want to see because we're doing a witching hour today, and I want to see what the fuck your half high mind comes up with, your fumed mind comes up with. I want to see.
Where the people are.
No. No, I do not. I don't want to be anywhere near people. Don't you lie to them.
Little Mermaid? I
I
wanna
know.
be where the people are.
I know, but I said I want to see.
Tisk.
I understood the reference.
Tisk.
Are you
You
trying to
didn't let
shame
it
me?
play! Bye! Tisk.
What?
Continuing on. You didn't
Is
let
there
it flow!
is there construction going on? Because every time you talk, I hear beeping. That's okay.
It sounded so low.
I don't know.
It
I can hear
stopped.
it. Okay. It's fine. I'm not it's okay. I'm just like, is there construction going on or am I just hearing
Fuck!
things? It's okay.
It's not. It's
It's
not.
it's fine. But today we have a witching hour and I want to see where the hell your brain is going to go with these. So, in our last witching hour, we talked about altars, but I didn't really specifically get into the closeted witch altars. Because a lot of people don't announce it and or they live with their families and they can't like have an altar per se and things like that. Um so I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about that and how you can keep it subtle while still having the intention of an altar. What is that? Why are you making that face?
Sorry, my brain went around. It was like, what do you mean closeted witches? I thought we were all out of the closet together. What do you mean? Is it a closet party? Can I
Well,
join? Sounds fun. I have my bed in my closet. Let's fucking party.
so by closeted witch, it's kind of the same thing as saying, unfortunately, closeted homosexuals and things like that because we're afraid to, come out and speak out, and show our families and friends that we are that. So it's the same thing. Um, so ways that you can be, or ways that you can like have altars and things like that without it looking too obvious is one, just having a clean spot on a dresser or something that's just yours. Um, and then you obviously we talked about it before where you have the intention into that space that that is the space that you have as an altar. Um, Regardless of anything, once you designate it as an altar space, it is an altar space. Just stick your tongue out at me.
Yeah.
So, with it being an altar space, you can have like crystals around, any kind of crystals. Because those are relatively common in homes, you know? Or you can burn incense there. That can be the spot that you burn incense. That's normal. That can be the spot that you have a candle. You don't have to dress the candle. You don't have to write on it. It can be just a regular candle you bought at Walmart. Like, it can be bare as long as it's a spot to honor somebody. It's a placement for somebody, whomever it is that you are honoring. And I mean, you can put just mundane things. What? What's that?
Can it be a junk drawer?
Depending on the deity. For Loki, yes.
Because it's like maybe like your family has junk drawers. I know that my family has junk drawers, and like you can put literally anything in it, and like if anybody goes looking through it, then it's just like, what the fuck is this? Oh, that's my junk drawer. Oh, okay. They're not really gonna question anything in it because it's a junk drawer, so you could put literally anything in it.
Right. The main thing you want to worry about with that though is other people should not be in or on your altar.
I mean, like if your junk drawer is in your room, then yeah, your family shouldn't be going through your room and into your drawer. But if they do and they ask, "What the fuck is that?" It's just my junk drawer. If
Yeah.
you're hiding it from them,
And you know the
so
funny
be
thing
the
is
wiser.
well, the funny thing about that, now that you've like mentioned that, the funny thing about that is the table in my living room actually has like a hidden compartment, and I absolutely use it as a magical junk drawer.
Fuck off! Fuck
I ha-
off!
I have crystals in there. I think I have some coffin nails in there. I have all kinds of
Bitch.
shit in there.
Coffin nails?
Yeah, they're good smoke
Jeez.
components. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, dude, I have so
Sourced
much shit.
ethically, right?
Of course. I'm not. We went into how crazy I am when it comes to fucking graveyard dirt. Do you really think I'm not gonna source the fucking nails ethically too?
That's not what I said. That
Yes.
is
Yeah.
all you extrapolating. I just
But
wanted to put it out there, like, hey, just because you have coffin nails does not mean that you did not source them ethically.
you
Don't go
asked.
grave robbing.
Seriously, don't go grave
Don't do
robbing.
it. Don't do it.
That's
Don't do it. Tell
desecration.
tell our audience how you can ethically source coffin nails.
Um, Usually it's actually going to be from coffin makers.
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do it as long as you're, first of all, if there was a spirit attached to the box, if there was somebody in the box and then they moved the body and got rid of the box and things like that, obviously ask. Um, but it's a slightly slippery slope, just like with cemetery dirt. You have to be careful. That's all I'm saying. Is just be careful where you're sourcing them and where you're getting them from. If there is a witchy shop that you know trust and stuff like that, great, cool. Again, I have mine that is very specific on how they did it, not where they got it. I mean, they'll tell you where they got it. They are very open and transparent about that. But they tell you how they got it, and that's the most fucking important thing. But yeah, I have a lot of like spell components or a lot of like I have a bunch of keys in that drawer. If I'm gonna work with like any of my underworld deities or stuff like that. Keep looking at the window. Is it because of all the construction?
It's a plane now.
Oh, lovely.
You were
But
saying a
yeah,
lot of things with the box. The box is like, what's in the box?
Depends on which box you're talking about.
Ooh, I know what you want to have in that box, but, we're not gonna be we're not gonna be talking about that.
Cannot. Anyway, moving on. Okay. So, closet witchy altars can be as basic or even chaotic as you want. You can just have it as like a junk drawer or things like that. So, it depends on who you're working with and what your style is. If you don't want to hide it, but you also don't want it to be blatantly obvious, there are a lot of ways to make it super subtle. Plus, not a lot of people know what an altar is. If they're not in the lifestyle, not a lot of people know what an altar is. They know, like, church wise, they know what the altar is. So, if if they are like a big church going family and things like that, and you kind of want to keep it from them, make sure it doesn't look like that. And there are ways.
Well, if you're Catholic, put a saint next to it. There you go.
Not if you're not actually worshiping that saint.
No, Catholicism, you don't worship the saint, you pray through the saints.
I know, but with your altar, if you're putting something on your altar, you're worshiping that.
I was saying putting it next to it.
I would be really
Ok
careful with that.
my saint when I was Catholic was Saint Rita of Cassia, and she was the patron saint of the impossible and, what you call it, those with a form of disability.
Okay.
So it's just like, I didn't pray to her because I had a disability. I prayed through her because she was a saint of impossible things. She had a family and her husband died, her children died, and she became a nun, which was unheard of back then because you don't have a family and then become a nun.
Right.
And she was able to make roses bloom in the winter, like literal snow on the floor, and she made roses bloom. And her miracle was that before she died, she was struck by a thorn from the Jesus statue's crown.
Mm-hmm.
And so like yeah, her head was festering, but then when she died, it looked like nothing happened to her, and to this day she still smells like rose oil.
All right.
So like she doesn't really have any power per se, but like you pray through her or you just have a conversation with her. If anything, she's kind of like not a deity, but a spirit guide or like a guardian.
Oh yeah, that's what the saints are.
No, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't
Mm-hmm.
have to like worship the saints, but you just have to like agree with what they are and what they are about,
Mm-hmm.
and just have a conversation with them. You don't have to do it, but like, if you have one, then like, yeah, you could put that on your altar.
If that's You have to be careful with altars. This is what I'm trying to say is when it comes to an altar, if it's not either somebody you're communicating through, so using, communicating them as spirit guides and such, and that's not something that you are actively doing, you do not want that on your altar. Now, with Catholicism, you can, of course, make a decoy altar as well. So on one side of a dresser, you have like just a regular candle and some crystals and, some like bits and bobs, maybe like a dried flower. And then on the other side, you have a couple saintly candles or something, but that area that you have those candles in is not considered your altar. Because you can designate one part of a piece of furniture or whatever you're putting them on as an altar space. So there's a lot of ways that you can make an altar without having to do too much and make it too obvious. Still going on?
Reminds me
What?
of that bird, it's just like, okay, listen here, you little shit. Every time, every time. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
No, you're fine. The next thing we're gonna talk about is something that I actually mentioned to Q, what, yesterday?
Multiple times.
Have I mentioned this multiple
We've
times? I thought
we've Oh, yeah, j because, I was talking about this for the longest time, I didn't know what, to do, and I'm
Oh,
making my
right.
folder.
Right. Okay,
I'm
so
making spell jars, and I'm crocheting little patterns for it,
right.
and Jinx was telling me that I can weave my intention into the jars so that yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember
So
everything right now because 'cause I'm
no, you're fine.
totally fucking fresh out of the oven and, hot out the oven and fresh on your screens.
No, you're right. I have mentioned this a couple times now where as you're crocheting or knitting or sewing or creating in some way, shape, or form, no matter what way that is, you can weave intentions and energy into everything you do, whether you are making a song or you are crocheting a bag.
That's what
Because
I'm
that is what
doing, I'm crocheting a bag.
exactly. Or creating a little pouch to add to your spell jar. Same thing. As you are starting it and all the way through while you are crocheting, knitting, sewing, doing whatever it is that you are doing to create this thing, you continue to pour your intention to it and you can do speech, you can do it by song, by pouring energy into it. There are so many different ways to weave energy into something.
Fuck, is that a shot of strawberry
Nope.
or regular?
That was the blue. Oh my god, that is so strong. That was my offering. I gave it to them first. Oh my god, that flavor is so fucking strong. Holy shit. Okay.
Bwahaha.
Actually, we could pause for a second on weaving and talk about an offering that Q and I actually do regularly. And I actually got this idea from Q. So what she would do is open an energy drink and give it to the deities first with, the intention, hey, help us speak eloquently. We've already talked about this on the podcast, so I don't really need to rehash it. What are you doing? Hello?
To figure out what the fuck just happened.
What?
Something fell over here and it sounded like I don't know, but it got my attention and now I don't know what the fuck it is.
Okay. But we've already talked about that on previous episodes, so I'm not going to rehash too much. But basically, you give your intentions and what the offering is for. You let the deities have it first, and then you drink it. And for her, it's come off super powerful. There was a peach one that she was like, it was like peach, and then somebody used peach rings instead of ice, kind of thing, and it was really potent flavor wise. And I just got a smack in the face of blue raspberry, and I'm not upset by it. It tasted really good. It was just strong. Um, and they can do that. And there's a lot of different ways that they can do that. And that it can affect you. So I already talked about how they can taste things through you. That's always a fun one. Found that one out by Queen Persephone. So that was a fun little moment to learn. But they can also just magically enhance things and stuff like that. So that was interesting. And the weird thing is, the aftertaste is like cotton candy right now,
Oh,
which has never happened.
gotta love that shit. I think it was the Bat Beyond that I had used that time, and it's just like whoa, man! I taste all of the individual flavors
You
in
tasted the
high
rainbow.
definition.
Exactly. It's
It was
so
like
weird.
the
It's
first
the
time I ever drank it.
monster, right? And this is the Monster Electric Blue. You can ask Q. I have it almost every other time. Like I go between that and the zero sugar strawberry shot.
Yes,
I
and I
have
love the strawberry shot.
It's so good. But, like, I go through these a lot, I drink them a lot, I've never had it taste so strong, and then the aftertaste be fucking cotton candy. And this came
But
from the same case. I bought a case of them.
so for anybody out there, we love Monster. We're not sponsored.
No, we're not, I really wish we were, because Monster's expensive.
Yeah, but it's good.
Uh-huh, and it keeps me alive. So anyway, while also destroying my spleen because Monster is well known for that. But anyway.
But it's worth it though.
Yes. So, okay, back into weaving intentions. When I make bracelets, for example, I will pick specific crystals. I know. I will pick specific crystals for the things that I want it to represent. Like, I have ones for the past life, for soul resonance, which is not my design, that is King Hades' design. I have, you know, a lot of others. I have, Sarah's designs, the beautiful little ghost child, a very sweet girl. Uh, I have her sunny days. I have her, or sunsets and rainy days. I have those two. And they're all, I have so many more than that. I'll make like a stressful situations one, and I will take specific crystals for that. But as I'm making it, fuck. As I'm making it, I am also putting in the intention for what it needs to do specifically, because we've already been over how crystals do a shit ton of stuff. It's not
Yes.
just the one thing or the three things, the few little bullet points you get when you go into a crystal shop. It's not just that. There's so fucking much more to it. So, same thing. I always am weaving the intention in with every bead. Every bead is being told what it's going to do and how it's going to correlate with the other ones. And it's the same with like spell jars. You're weaving your intention in. When I do that, I do that verbally. I verbally weave my intention in as I am making the jar. Every ingredient gets communication. Every ingredient, every single thing that I am putting into this jar has a role to play, and I communicate that role. That is weaving intention. You don't have to say it out loud. You can do it mentally. You can do it energetically by putting energy into it. You can be thinking about the intention that you have while you're doing it. But you are fully capable of weaving intentions into literally everything. You can weave intentions into baking and cooking. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why my shit tastes the best.
That's why your shit gets you so fucked up.
Ha!
You cut out what?
Bitch.
You're welcome. Hey, look. It was a funny moment. It was funny. Okay. Energetic communication. Now, I have talked about this several times where I've said that my deities basically turn me into a pendulum. I've said this a ton of times. What I mean by that is that they give me a little burst of energy, and that energy tells me yes, no, maybe so. What are you doing?
Nothing.
What? What?
I didn't do anything. I was cracking my knuckles.
Oh, it looks like you're grabby handsing. So, when it comes to energetic communication, everybody's going to feel it a little bit differently. The way that I was taught to feel energy is left means bad, right means good. That is not it.
What if
Okay?
you're left-handed or ambidextrous?
It's not, no, it's energy. If you feel tingles on the on the left hand side, then it means that there's a negative spirit. If you feel tingles on the right, that means it's a positive spirit. That's what I meant by that. You are allowed to be ambidextrous or just left-handed. That is okay. It's normal. Except you with your fucking mirrored script. So, for me, energetic communication looks a lot like at the base of my skull on the back, where my skull meets my spine, is kind of where I tend to feel a lot of energy. That's why I have my brother's bind rune there, because that's where I feel energy the most. So, for me, a yes is usually like energy coming from the base of my skull and up the back of my head. And then no's are energy coming from the base of my skull and moving down to my shoulders. Maybe just kind of resides in the middle. It doesn't really move, it just kind of stays. And then there's like sort of, which is a light yes, but also a light no at the same time. It takes a lot of getting used to. I'm still not entirely used to it, and I've been doing this for years. So it's just kind of one of those things. Energetic communication can look different for everybody. When it comes to energetic communication with my deities, the way that they will tell me, Artemis is demonstrating now. The way that they tell me that they want to communicate with me is they will touch my face, or my shoulders, because Lucy will put his hands on my shoulders. Um, so Artemis just poked my cheek right here. That's her spot. It's right by my nose on the right cheek, right by my nose. Her brother and my spirit guide actually also poke the cheekbone on that same side, but her brother's touch tickles while Gray's touch is a little tingly and sometimes hurts, which is
I
normal.
hate that.
Yeah, it's normal, you know. And then us again on that same side, on my chin, we have the Morrigan. And then on the top of my forehead, on that same side, that's where Guardian touches to let me know that I'm sorry. That's where Guardian kisses to let me know that he wants to talk to me. I'm not. He literally was just like kisses. And I was like, okay, I will correct it. On the left
They are
side
good
of my,
kisses.
huh?
They are good kisses.
E. So, in the middle of my face is my nose, obviously, and that is Queen Persephone. She pokes my nose. She'll just kind of boop. She kind of just boops the snoot for a little bit. So on the left side of my face, close to my nose, would be Ikati, which makes sense because it's Queen Persephone. She's very close to Hecate. Also, on the cheekbone on that same side is King Hades. They're all in a line, literally like this.
Ooh.
So, yeah. So, I have that. And then underneath the cheekbone is Loki. His usually tickles. And he'll usually like go a little bit further back. You know, like where your jaw meets back here where it fucking tingles and feels weird? He gets like really close to there. And then on the
Me.
left. Huh?
Feels like a really bad pressure point and it stings to high hell.
Really? Mine
Yeah,
tingles.
man.
Weird.
It feels like a very bad tingle. Like, you ever eat like a sour candy and then you try and smile and all of a sudden it's like ah!
Yeah, the tang gets you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get
Well, there's something funny that I'm going to say about that in just a minute. So on my left side of my chin is Cernunnos. He is an Irish deity. And he gets me right here. Speaking of, I need to move his Amazonite. um, I don't necessarily work with him, but I have a lot of animal spirits around me, and one of which was attached to a partial deer antler that I was gifted. And it, his name was Wayek. very sweet. The first like 2 days I had him, I didn't I didn't really realize that he was here. So he just kind of hung out in my living room until, we sat, we had our talk. He was very shy. He was very shy. He was one of the only male spirits that I've had animal wise coming through or coming around. And eventually he got more comfortable after we talked and stuff, and he opened up. Have you heard the song Clarity? Why are
No.
you my clarity?
Oh, yes, yes, that
Yeah,
one. Huh?
yeah. That's actually his song.
Oh.
Yeah, when I first found out about it, I played it a lot, and every time, because it's, very dubsteppy, so it has a lot of like headbang moments that you can have. He and I would just headbang, and then when it goes the duh duh duh, we would do like left, right, forward. Uh, so it was a lot of fun. He would move his head with me, and we would jam out to get to that together. So, um, he has since moved on, but he moved into Cernunnos's forest for a little while, and now he's back in action. He has come back to life. Um so Cernunnos still, hangs around, because obviously some of the babies do move on, some of them stay, some of them go, and that's completely okay. I've had a chocolate lab that went out with Anubis, you know.
Oh.
Anubis is now taking care of her, and Anubis will actually gently like wrap his hand around my arm, around my right arm. And that's usually how he tells me that he wants to communicate, which is awesome. Raw, actually, you were talking about the tang right here. He does that in on both sides. He will do that, like right under here. He will do that to
It's
me, and
only my right side.
he'll poke me right in here. And the first time I ever felt it, I was like, "Yeah, that's tangy," and so now I call him Tangy. It works. He doesn't have a problem with it, as far as I'm aware. Um, I think I'm the only one who's allowed to call him that, but either way, hi Steffi. But she just poked me. So it does tickle, so I end up like scratching it a lot, and it's not it's like there's no offense to them. It's just it tickles my face and I need to scratch it. So it's kind of one of those things. I already said that, Lucifer, he'll put his hands on my shoulders, and that's one of his ways of letting me know that he's there. Um I seriously want to go ghost hunting with him. And he said he would do
Do
it.
it.
I
Do
know.
it.
I know.
Do
It depends.
it.
It depends. He and I are gonna have to like agree on which one he wants to go to and whatnot. But point is, so that's another type of energetic communication, though, is a touch. You feel that touch on your face or on your body wherever you have allowed them to. Cersei likes to poke you inside the ear. It sucks. So I've changed Cersei, and I was like, you need to be like under the chin or something, please, because I cannot handle the inside the ear. Um,
Ugh.
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure I scratched the inside of my ear to high hell at this point.
No, the you.
Exactly. It doesn't feel good.
No.
Yeah. So that is absolutely a form of energetic communication. Um, if you've watched any like ghost shows and things like that where they use ITCs and spirit boxes and things like that, that is actually another form of energetic communication, but they're using your energy to speak through the device itself. So that's another way. There's a lot of different ways of energetic communication, and I think it's so interesting to see how people get their messages. Because using your clairs, being psychic, my ear just started ringing. That is energetic communication. So using your clairs is really good for your psychic abilities, and you rely on energy to allow everything that you're catching to come through. And it also kind of depends on your mental filters, which we will get into in another episode. You okay?
Yeah.
Got an itch?
Yeah.
Fair. Um, when you're using the clairs, that is a form of energetic communication. Realistically, you can't connect with them on this realm. And it's hard to explain because you can and you can't. You can't, being that they're not on the same plane as you are. They're not in the same realm as you are. However, our realms are parallel. They do touch, they do, they can come over to us, just not in the way that we expect. As you and I are talking, this is a normal conversation between you and I. However, if you're going to communicate with a spirit or deity, and yes, you can just have a conversation just like this with them. I've done it loads of times. I do it every single day. So, it's very normal, and that's okay. The fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, but energetic communication comes in handy with this because that's really the only way that you can communicate with them. For your clairaudience, my other ears just started ringing. For your clairaudience, and it's weird because they're like flash bursts of them. So like it was like and stopped and then and stopped, and I'm like, okay. And a lot of that could be tinnitus, but it doesn't happen frequently enough for it to be tinnitus. If that makes any sense. But anyway, um so clairaudience, that's your hearing. And there's two different ways. There's inner and outer ear. So inner ear is like you're hearing it in your mind. You're hearing the voices, or you're hearing words that you didn't put in, that you didn't think of, or maybe even like seeing pictures that they send you and things like that. That's all inner. And then you have outer, which is like you and I are talking. Like if you were to say something to me as I am saying something to you, and you hear it regularly through your ear canal.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
that's okay. You'll get there. If you want to. It's up to you.
I don't know, because sometimes
Mhm.
it do be sounding like tinnitus, and like tinnitus don't come from my ear canals. They come from the back of my head, and I don't like that.
Well, yeah, it could be tinnitus, it could be communication. But if that makes you uncomfortable, then set a boundary. And we'll actually talk about boundaries in this episode. So, but yes, energetic communication is anything to do with the clairs. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but you can actually touch spirits. Like physically, you can touch them. It's like touching energy. I found that out actually when I was talking to one of my ancestors, and it was 10 Bears. He's a Comanche chief. He signed the Medicine Lodge Treaty, I believe it was called, up in Fort Sill. So he is a great like times 6 grandfather of mine or something like that. So we are connected, and I did go to visit him with my mom and yada yada. So we did have a connection. I actually found a penny from my birth year, and we were walking around trying to find his grave, my mom and I. And I saw all these coins on everybody's, gravestone, and I was like, I want to give 10 Bears one. And the only coin, the very first coin that I pulled out of my pocket was a penny from my birth year.
Ah,
A penny from 1995. And I was like, okay, well. And so I asked if I could leave it for him. Now, keep in mind, this is way back when. This was when I was not strong at all or anything like that. I couldn't hear, I couldn't see. I mean, I could feel see, but only if it was strong enough, kind of thing. So I mean, it there was a lot of blockaging. There was a lot of blocking with me spiritually. So I couldn't hear him, but my mom could, and I asked, "Hey, can I leave this for you?" And 10 bears to her, said, that would be nice. And so I left it for him. But that was an intense experience as well. And there was some energetic communication there as well. My mom, once we actually found him, we sat down. My mom started crying immediately. And that was an energetic connection that she felt. When it comes to energetic communication, it doesn't come through your physical body, it comes through your soul and gets translated out. Again, there's a mental filter. We will talk about that in the next witching hour. But it's connection to the soul, not connection to the physical body. But the reason that your physical body reacts is because your soul is reacting. Your soul has the connection to your physical body. So they connect to the soul, and the soul connects to the physical body. That's why you have a physical reaction a lot of the time. So she starts crying immediately. I didn't feel it. I was like, whatever. But I had taken off my grandfather's ring. It was silver and turquoise, and it had a Navajo cactus on it as a protective sigil. I had taken that off. Didn't know why, but when I walked into the cemetery, I needed to take it off. So I took it off. We get there, we sit down, mom's bawling. I'm like, I don't really feel it. And then she has me intuitively, because she didn't consciously know this. And she admitted that to me later. She's like, I don't know how I knew that. But she's like, take your left hand and put it on top of the very center of his gravestone. And I did. And all of a sudden I felt him and I started bawling. And I had the connection. So yeah. And it was intense. And we sat there for a little while. And she asked me if I was ready to go eventually. And I was like, I'm not ready. There's something else I need to do. And it clicked, the ring. So I put the ring in the center, and my grandfather joined us.
Oh.
Which was another like really emotional moment, and we're crying and we're like, oh my god, we're so emotional. And then, as we're leaving, I leave the penny and stuff like that. But that is energetic communication. It's the same with pendulums. Pendulums are another form of energetic communication because energy is moving the pendulum. Ouija boards are the same. Energy is moving the planchette. So, that is energetic communication. I know that was long-winded, but there's so many different ways of energetic communication. And I felt like it was kind of important to talk about every little bit that I personally could. Obviously, if there's more, if you have questions, let me know. And we will do more research. But that is a lot of what I know. So I have already taught you how to shield.
Yeah.
When I went to NostalgiaCon, I ended up teaching somebody else how to shield because she was telling me that she has all these kind of crazy dreams. And I'm like, okay, so you need some psychic protection, first of all. Second of all, you need to learn how to shield when you're out and about and when you're asleep. So I was able to talk to her and teach her, and her and I are still in communication, which is great. Because I was able to check up on her and see how she's doing with that. And I realized that not a lot of people, especially those who are energetically inclined or energetically affected, know how to shield properly. Now, properly is in quotations because properly is different for everybody. As I have said a multitude of times, the craft is different for everybody. What works for some person might not work for somebody else. And that's okay, and that's very normal. Case in point, I can't meditate to save my life, but I can focus on a flame like no fucking tomorrow. That's my meditation. Shut
My
up.
little pyro princess.
Stop
Yes.
looking like that. Stop looking like that. Are you messing with me, or are you just doing this for fun?
About what? What did I didn't do anything.
You know exactly what you did.
I didn't do anything right now. I'm besides listening to construction, you talk about the amazing things that you're talking about and crocheting.
I feel like there's a butt coming.
I mean, I haven't seen it myself, but I can say
That's not what I meant. And you know.
what you meant and what you said are two different things, okay?
I didn't mean B-U-T-T, I meant B-U-T. Q.
I didn't know that the anatomical butt was spelled with two T's.
It is. Because it's short for buttocks,
T's?
and that's two T's.
Learn something new every day. Wow.
Ha 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 ha.
Ah,
Ah, ah, ah. Anyway. Oh god, we were talking about shielding. Yes. Right. Okay. So as far as shielding goes, the way that I personally like to do it is imagining kind of like a bubble around me, and I've kind of already talked about it. You imagine a bubble around you and you keep your bubble closed, meaning that from head to toe, there is no gaps, nothing open, no anything. And you can expand that bubble, you can retract the bubble once you're practiced at, moving energies and things like that. And the really cool thing about shielding is you can also add elements to it, other elements of protection. You can quite literally make your bubble a taser
I like that idea.
or like an electric fence. Or you can give it some fire energy, so whatever spirit that tries to touch it that's not allowed is burned. You can make it repulsive, so like it'll repulse you away. It'll force them away, kind of thing. Um, there's all
I like
kinds
to
of
think of
things that
mine
you
as
can.
jelly.
Ew.
It's hard to move in.
Yeah.
And it's just like it suspends me and it's just like I can go to sleep like this.
There you go.
What kind of jelly are you thinking of that you went ew?
Well, I thought kind of something like an ooze.
Kind of. Think of
Yeah.
it as a kind of like gelatinous cube.
Yeah, that's I couldn't think of the word, but that, yeah. Which
I like to think of it
that
like that.
and yeah, anything
Doesn't
that
hurt
tries
me,
to.
but anybody that tries to like come in without permission, they're gonna get a little stuck and a little bit digested.
Yeah, that kind of is it. Acidic jelly.
Where the stomach is on the outside rather than the inside.
Yep. But see, that's the thing. There's so many things that you can do with shielding. It's crazy. So if you're not used to moving energies and things like that, huh?
Nothing.
What?
I didn't say or do anything. I just looked up and I had a contemplative look on my face. That was it.
Exactly. And the contemplative look on your face tells me you had a question or something to say. So say it.
Fuck my book face. Jesus.
Yeah, no, you're a fucking open book now
No, do
still.
not fuck my book face. Jesus.
No,
Fuck
that's not
that.
what I said. What were you going to say?
Could if it was real, could the jellyfish and the gelatinous cube be part of the same family?
No.
They have no form, and they have no intestines really, and they kind of just work without a brain.
Right, but they're made of completely different things. They would have no relation. Just because they have a similar um infrastructure, we'll say, doesn't mean that they are of the same family.
I'm going to ask Leo.
It's funny, my sister, Snacks, she actually asked me one day, is Big Bird a chocobo? And I went into a full hour-long rant about how that is not physically possible. With
Shit.
receipts.
Jeez, gotta love
I brought
that.
out receipts. Yeah, no, I was like, no, he is not a chocobo, and here's why. And just going on and on and on. It's like, no, 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 no. And she did that to me while I was at fucking work. So I had to stand at the beer bar and give her
What about
receipts
his
and
cousins?
explanations. Huh?
What about Big Bird's cousins? Could any of them be chocobos?
I don't know who those are, so I couldn't tell you. I didn't even know Big Bird had cousins.
Depending on the yeah, he has cousins, on based on the country that they're filming in.
Mm. Realistically, the answer is still going to be no, because
I think,
their genetic structure is different.
damn, you went all scientifical with this shit.
Yes. Yes, I did. Anyway, like I said, I went into an hour-long fucking thing with receipts about how that's just not physically possible. So, shielding. When it comes to your shield, if you're not used to like maneuvering energy, a really good way is to just start with a little ball of energy in your hands. The way that I like to do it, and I don't have to do it this way anymore, but the way that I started doing it was I would envision energy moving through my veins and through my body and coming out of my hands, and then I would use my hands to force the energy into a shape. And I would get like I would close my hands closer and closer together, forcing the energy into just a circle. And once I did that, then I would try to make the circle bigger or try to make the circle smaller. And I'm just basically editing the energy that I'm using. So I can either retract some energy and make it smaller, or I can push more energy out and expand the ball. And then once you're used to that, then you can continue to form the shield over your body like your aura. And a lot of people like that does help people to think it's the aura. So what you're doing is you're putting the bubble over your body in like an aura. And again, make sure it's closed, no open holes, no nothing like that. And nothing you don't want in your bubble can get in your bubble. So once you're used to that, then you can kind of try to work on elemental energies. Now, it's a little difficult. For me, it's not. I somehow stumbled upon elemental energy very easily. It wasn't stumbled upon, I learned about it, and then I was just kind of able to do it. um, but for others, it might help to sit near a flame, light a candle, sit near it, feel it. Allow the energy of the flame to move around you, or try to use your energy to edit the flame and make it flicker or make it do something, you know? Um, and that's one way that you can kind of learn fire energy. You become more attuned to fire energy the longer you're around fire. Same with water. Go take a bath. Go hang out in a river for a little while. Feel how the water moves. Feel how it touches the skin. Feel everything. Feel the energy within it. And once you're able to move water with your energy, you can incorporate the water into your energy. It's the same with fire. And it's the same with all elements. You can do the same with the earth or air. I have a friend who can quite literally still air,
Still
which is
air?
in yeah, he like if the wind is blowing, he can make it stop.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, or he can make the wind blow. That's the things that you can do with energy. So those things can be incorporated into shielding. Shielding, very important for literally anything, anywhere you go, shield because you don't want other people's energies. If you're having trouble shielding, use any kind of black stone. That can be onyx, black tourmaline, black kyanite, um, smoky quartz. You can use literally any kind of black stone and they will put up a shield. Also, labradorite will do that as well. It's insanely protective. Um,
I love
things,
labradorite.
yeah, obsidian, things like that. Just you can carry that around as you're getting more used to energies, and crystals are a really good way for you to learn energies as well. So, moving on from that, because we went from shield, that was kind of shielding, and it was energetic learnings, I guess, which is kind of the same thing. So there's an energetic teaching for you guys as well.
When I put up
Last,
my shield, I like to imagine the sensation of warmth fully filling
yeah,
me.
And that's actually a really good way to do it because what you're doing is not only pinpointing the energy, because if you're saying it's going all the way through you and you're flowing it all the way through you, you're pinpointing energy at every single point, everywhere throughout your body, and that's great. But that's also telling it exactly where it's going to protect, which again, pinpointing that spot, perfect. That spot being your entire body.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing we are going to talk about in this episode is going to be boundaries. Now, I tried, we recorded a witching hour, the first one, and it unfortunately did not go well. So we tried to re-record it and it wasn't natural and it just did not work out for us. So while I'm in the groove, I figured I would add one last thing from that, and that is boundaries. Now, obviously you have boundaries with people, but one main thing that's very important, and it's one of the first things that Loki ever taught me, is that you can have boundaries with deities. In fact, you must. Now, that can look anything like, I don't like it when there's random noises in my apartment that are caused by, any of the babies, the spirit animals, or any of the deities and stuff like that. It freaks me out, and they know that. I don't like my smoke alarm being sent off, set off or anything like that. So
They
that is
can
a
set off
hard.
the smoke alarms? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes, they can.
Hell to the fuck no! Why? Why? No!
They can do all kinds of shit. And that's a hard boundary with me, is they are not allowed to do that. Anybody who enters here, anybody who is allowed to enter here, because that's the only way they're getting in, anybody who is allowed to enter here is not allowed to set off any alarms. And that is a hard boundary that I keep. But there's also a more flexible boundary, so like a timed boundary. If I am feeling oversensitive, like overstimulated and things like that, and I'm just really frustrated and I can feel myself kind of losing it, and then the touches on the face start to feel wrong and it makes me want to crawl out of my own skin, that's when I'm like, okay guys, don't touch me right now. That's a boundary. And I'm very clear about right now. There's not really a deadline. I don't have a deadline, but they all know that it's once I calm down, I'll be fine. And that's communicated with them. That's been communicated with them. They already understand that. But that is a temporary boundary that can be put up at any time. Make sense?
Yes.
Another thing that is very important to understand when working with spirits and deities and stuff like that. Yes, I know it's a god. I know that who you are talking to is insanely powerful. And yet you have every right to say no. That's it. You don't have to explain yourself. It is a full sentence, and they understand that. You have every right to say no. Now you can explain yourself. I over explain myself, and then they tell me to stop. Uh Same thing Q does when I over explain myself, they tell me to stop. So it is kind of one of those things. You can say no. If something makes you uncomfortable, if they're asking for something, say no. If you're uncomfortable and don't want to do it, you can say no. They will not force you. If they try to force you, that's when you break the communication. That's when you're like, okay, you need to go. I have said no to you. If you're still pushing this, you need to go. And you can do that. You can say goodbye to a deity. You can have a falling out with a deity. I personally have had a falling out with Apollo. He and I are cool now. We talk occasionally. He and I are cool now. But I took him off of my altar because I didn't really work with him. I worked with Artemis. I still do. But twins. So, in honoring her, I also honored him. I took him off of my altar. I didn't talk to him for a while. Once things kind of calmed down, we talked. We came to more of an understanding as of what happened and why it happened. And we're cool now. But it's okay. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize or even think about is you have a deity that's here, they're trying to help you, they yada this, yada that, yada the other. And they are trying to help you. But sometimes they're going to they can try to help in the wrong way. They don't mean to, but they, and how do I put this eloquently?
They're not infallible,
No, they're not.
or people are different, so are gods,
Mhm.
and therefore people expect different things of each other, and so therefore gods
Mhm.
expect different things of each other and people.
Right.
And the only way to reach a mutual consensus is to communicate, hey, I cannot provide this for you, so stop asking me to, or hey, you know what, like, get the fuck out of my house.
Pretty much. Now, obviously, like that's kind of extreme to just full on say goodbye to a deity, and like
Oh yeah.
again, it we had a falling out. Like I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to say what it took because I don't think that that's oh god. One of
You
my
got
light
something?
bulbs. Well, no, it's well, look, I'm a lot brighter now.
Yep, you are.
So, I have 3 light bulbs in my chandelier and
Is this
the
your
thir
eureka moment?
no. I just have 3 light bulbs in my chandelier and that one overheats, so it turns off. But it just turned back
Oh.
on when it cooled off, so either way, it's the wrong light bulb for the chandelier, that's why. It's my fault, I bought the wrong ones.
Ah.
Yeah, so totally my fault, that was just it tripped me out for a second, but anyway, um, I'm not gonna tell that story just because that story is long gone, and there's been enough emotion to it, there's been enough pain and realizations and things like that, and it just doesn't need to be rehashed. Um, so it's okay to have a falling out with a deity and tell them goodbye. It's okay for them to tell you goodbye. Um, it's a two-way street. If they tell you no, stop. And if you don't and you keep pushing, they're going to walk away from you, and that is completely valid. It's one of those things where it is absolutely a two-way street. It is very important that you understand each other. And again, in the next witching hour, we'll talk about a mental filter and how misunderstandings because of the mental filter can also cause issues. Completely
Okay.
normal. Yeah. Um, it's completely normal. It is not the biggest deal in the world. It will feel like it. Especially if you have a falling out with a deity, there's a lot of fear in that. There's a lot of pain in that. There's a lot of worry in that because you're like, oh my God, is this God now going to come after me and stuff like that? It's just like, no. There was a falling out. We needed time apart, and we took that time apart. Now, this was Apollo. So, not only, like, he was still kind of around with Artemis in a way because his twin was here. So, he couldn't do anything to me regardless because I did have his sister's protection. I don't think he would have anyway. Um, but I mean, it does depend on who you're having the falling out with. Sometimes it's a misunderstanding, sometimes it's more than that. But it's okay. And setting boundaries with your deities is an absolute must, and them setting boundaries with you is also an absolute must, and it needs to be adhered to and understood. Now, with the mental filter and things like that, it can be very hard to understand what their boundaries are. That's why you research. Like for King Hades and Queen Persephone, I know that they don't want to go by just Hades and just Persephone because they are more than just the gods. They are a king and queen, and they demand that respect. That is a boundary with them. So that is why almost every single time you'll hear me say King Hades and Queen Persephone. For that specific purpose, I did ask permission. I said, hey, just going to say them once. We're back to King Hades and Queen Persephone as an example. It
Yeah.
you don't want to just call them by their quote names unquote because King Hades' name is not Hades. So, regardless, though, sorry. I know you don't like it. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're good.
Not you.
I was about to say, are you talking to me?
No,
It's like,
I was talking to King Hades. So yes, when it comes to the king and queen, they are king and queen, lord and lady. They have a title on top of their godhood. So, something to keep in mind. Um, Even with like nicknames and things like that, like Queen Persephone, she lets me call her Sephi. She actually partially helped come up with that. They demand respect and command respect as they should. They are king and queen and gods. Research whoever you're trying to connect with. Research your deities, find out what they like and what they don't like. It's the same as when you're trying to find an offering for them. You need to research them extensively to find out what they like and what they don't like, and they will tell you. I mean, I could very clearly feel King Hades' displeasure at me calling him by the one name instead of,
the title.
I didn't want to upset you. He's like, you can say it, and I was like, I just didn't want to upset you. He's displeased when I say Hades. So that's why, again, we say King Hades. We put the respect on the name. Point blank, period.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Get
Find out
what it
what it
means
means
to me.
to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Anyway. um, it's very important to research your deities and find out their boundaries. Always. You know? You can always ask as well if you're unclear. Like, I was sitting around one day and I was like, Aphrodite, can I call you Deity as like a nickname? And she was like, yeah, of course. If she had said no, I would continue to call her Aphrodite. I still do call her Aphrodite sometimes. But a lot of times I call her Deity. It's one of those things where you just ask. If they say no, move on. It's okay. But it's the same with you. They will ask. Or if they do something that you don't like and say, hey, please don't do that, a boundary. You know? No is a complete sentence with them. Now, you will have times, especially if you're working with deities like Loki, who like to push your buttons and push your boundaries. Now, he pushes your boundaries because he wants to test you. He wants to make sure that you are keeping strong to those boundaries, and he doesn't care if you like yell at him. He wants you to because you are keeping strong in those boundaries. And he will get others to do it too.
Fucking ringleader.
Seriously. So, stay strong in your boundaries regardless of anything. Do not be afraid to tell a deity no. It's okay. It is 1,000% okay. And changing your mind at a later date is also 1,000% okay. It's the same as consent. It doesn't have to be one stagnant thing. Consent is fluid. So, there you go. That actually came out so much better than the original. I think that came out so much better than the first time.
Good.
So, um, anyway, that's all that I have for the day.
Fuck yes.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to find us on our socials, SOTM Podcast 1 on Insta, Facebook, or SOTM Podcast page. The email is sistersofthemacabre at gmail.com. I wish I could make that shorter because it's just very long. There might be a way. I'll look into it. Anyway. And
Okay.
then we are on YouTube as Sisters of the Macabre. Kid, thanks, we love you. Bye.
Love you guys.
Wah.
Wah, Buffett.